Week 8 of the Ohio high school football season is upon us. It is Wednesday afternoon here at the WCPO studios. It's time for your WCPO High School Insider Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Dyer. Pleased to be joined, as usual, by three area head football coaches along with some of their players. Today we're going to be talking to Lakota West head coach Tom Bolden, Wyoming coach Aaron Hancock, and also Summit Country Day coach Justin Isaacs. We're going to get to them momentarily here, talking high school football as the playoff projections continue to be much anticipated around the Cincinnati area. This High School Insider Podcast is presented by our local Chick-fil-A restaurants, where the winning play is always chicken. Download the app today for extra points. As always, you can get this WCPO High School Insider Podcast on Google Play, Stitcher, and Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. So I want to bring in Lakota West coach Tom Bolden, also senior linebackers Isaac Kolosik and David Jones, and senior defensive back Truman Mason. Guys, thanks for taking a few minutes. How are you doing today?
Wonderful. Thanks for having us.
Busy week, obviously, playing your district rival. They're Lakota East. The 5-2 Firebirds play host to 4-3 Lakota East on Friday night. And the Firebirds right now number 5 in Division I Region 4 after a big 14-6 win at Mason last week. The first time you beat the Comets since, I believe, 2015. Coach, just looking forward to Friday night. A lot of hoopla surrounding this game. As always, your first opportunity to face Rick Haynes in the Lakota Bowl, as it were. And I know you've been friends with Coach Haynes for quite a long time, but what's been kind of the vibe and the atmosphere there around West this week?
Well, it's crazy, to say the least. I mean, there's a lot that goes on with that this week. Just crossed paths actually with the Lakota East principal. She just walked by us in the lobby here a few minutes ago, and I asked her if I was allowed to talk to her. So, but no, it is a first time being a part of this, but obviously you can just feel the excitement and feel the anticipation and feel this rivalry. It's definitely something special here in this area.
David, I want to bring in David Jones. We had a great conversation in the preseason. I wanted to kind of harken back to that a little bit about what Coach Bolden has brought to you guys in terms of the culture around the program there at Lakota West. And here you are, week 8, facing your district rival. I mean, tell us a little bit about kind of piggybacking on what Coach just mentioned there, just the vibe around school this week as you guys head into this game Friday night.
Yeah, everybody here is real excited. Actually, the other day, I went to Kroger, and I seen a couple of East kids. They was walking in. They walked past me, and they saw me. They was all talking mess. It's like we all, everybody on the teams know each other. So, like, it brings more of a competitive edge that you want to beat people that you've been around, like, practically your whole life.
And Truman, go ahead, Coach.
Most of you guys grew up playing together, Mike, with Tomahawks and whatnot. So it makes it pretty sweet. Yeah.
Talk about Truman, if you can kind of jump in here. Just the atmosphere around this program from this year as opposed to just a year ago. Seems like a night and day, a total 360. How exciting is it for not only your guys, your teammates, but just your classmates, your friends, everybody around the school this week? As you know, each and every game, you're basically, for all intents and purposes, already in the playoffs.
Yeah, we have that mindset of we're still hungry. We want to win the rest of these games out. We've had that energy from the very beginning. We want to go undefeated. And that same mindset holds the rest of these 3 games.
Isaac, you limited the Comets to just 13 yards rushing last week. What's been clicking well for the defense right now?
I mean, we're all just playing with a new physicality, this year. It's something different that I don't think this program's had in a long time. And it's 11 men to the ball. In practice, we practice that all the time. Everybody gets to the ball. And that's how it's been. It's not just one person making every single play. It's everybody as a collective unit, showing up and being physical with the run. Tom,
your offense first and foremost, but how proud are you of this defensive effort this year?
Oh, that's how you win big games. That's why you win championships and things like that. Like I said, I've always been an offensive guy. I've coached plenty of defense though too, but the only guy really that's off limits for the defense is the quarterback. So, but I guess if we really needed to use him, we could. But Coach Gray, our D coordinator, Carlton, does a tremendous job with it. Coaches with an intensity. I think we kind of mirror each other quite a bit in terms of practice. We do a lot of one-on-one stuff to bring that competitiveness out in us. But I am so proud about how these guys have been playing. But, it's a whole different week, a whole different offense to prepare for in terms of what we've seen. So we've got to play with that same tenacity. We got to run fast and get 11 guys ball, but everybody's got to do their assignments this week. You got to be selfless and just do your job, play in and play out. And I think we do that, we got a good chance.
Tom, you told me in the summer this Firebirds team was going to win some games. You just said the only question really was, are these guys ready for the moment? Are they ready to seize the spotlight that's going to be called upon them? And, are they ready to embrace that opportunity? Here you are, week 8. It's getting cold outside. It's 40 degrees. It's dark. It's gloomy. It's cold. You've coached many a games this late in the season, especially deep into the postseason. What do you think of this squad's mentality right now, the psychology behind getting into these weeks 8 through 10?
Well, I like where we're at. I think definitely from a defensive standpoint, we're playing with a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger, things like that. Offensively, we've been pretty inconsistent in terms of our offensive play up front. We've had some guys banged up, so we're trying to get some continuity with the O-line and things like that. But David Farr has been running the ball really, really well, and we've got some nice compliments to help him out. So I think we've yet to play a great game, or even let alone our best game offensively. But and probably defensively, the guys would tell you the same thing. We gave up, some third and longs to Mason. That if we don't do that, we probably hold them in under 100 yards of offense. So they have that capability defensively to do that against the run in the pass. So I like where we're at. I still don't think we've played our best game yet. But we keep moving forward. I just keep telling the guys, just got to get better each day and just keep grinding.
David, how do you see this opportunity here the next 3 weeks, you and your teammates? And are you guys ready for this opportunity that presents the postseason to you?
Yes, sir. We are ready. We all want to win now. We all want to be undefeated for the rest of the season. And like you said, we're all
I got you. That's all right.
All focused and ready to go.
Yeah, we're focused, ready to go. And we haven't had our perfect game yet. So one of these 3 weeks, or for the rest of the 3 weeks, we could have our perfect games and we could be ready for the postseason.
Before I let you guys go, how's Coach kind of kept things loose? He's always a high energy guy. I mean, no nonsense. But still, the grind of the seasons certainly can wear on any high school team, no matter how successful or how many games you've won. I mean, how's Coach kind of kept things loose here in practice?
They better say they like my view. I got a pretty good playlist, don't I?
Yeah, he keeps the playlist going, and the team really matches the coach's intensity as the season wears on. And when you have a big game like the East-West game, and the spotlight can't really get any bigger than this. So everyone's playing with a little swagger, everyone's having fun. The coaches are all intense during the week, so you can't really ask for a bigger moment than this week to really set the last 3 games of the season off and with confidence.
What's that playlist consist of, Isaac?
He puts everything. He's got everything. He's got the new on there. He's got the old on there.
I think it blows them away. I'll be 50 here next month, and I think it blows them away how good my music. I know this. They're dancing and singing to it, so it must be something right.
Good.
We kind of had to help him out a little bit.
Yeah.
First, he used to play the oldies and stuff all the time. We had to
I did. I got into how it is, the old 80s and early 90s rap and all that kind of stuff. And they do like that, but they like their new stuff. So I mix it up now. So
it's funny how the truth kind of comes out there at the end.
Yeah. I don't have the premium Spotify or Pandora yet. So they get the ads once in a while, too, unfortunately. So, maybe if Lakota paid me a little more money, I could get the premium or that.
Good stuff, guys. Hey, Lakota West coach Tom Bolden, senior linebackers Isaac Kolosik and David Jones, and senior DB Truman Mason. Best of luck to the Firebirds this week, and thanks for joining me.
Thanks. Appreciate you, Mike.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
As always, this High School Insider podcast is presented by our local Chick-fil-A restaurants, where the winning play is always chicken. Go for the extra point today with a side of their new macaroni and cheese. And I want to bring in Wyoming coach Aaron Hancock, along with his 4 captains there. Guys, thanks for being patient, and thanks for taking a few minutes. Coach, how are you doing today?
Great, Mike. Thanks for having us.
Thank you. And obviously the Cowboys, 38 consecutive regular season wins. That's tops anywhere in any division in the state of Ohio, according to Drew Pastor. 22 consecutive wins overall. The 7-0 Cowboys are at Finneytown this week. And one of the stats that I truly love that I was able to put out on Twitter yesterday, 46-2 record for this senior class. And Camden, I'll just start with you. How proud are you guys of that record here the past couple years?
It's a big deal for us. We love to win. Our culture is winning, and it's kind of everything for us.
And Coach, I mean, can you talk about just that significance of the legacy that this senior class will continue to leave? Obviously, a lot of football. You hope for another, 8 weeks to go here, but talk about how special these guys have been for you guys.
Well, the guys have bought into the process that it takes to win, and that's every day showing up and getting better, holding value in practice, getting better out there on the practice field, getting in the film room, and just that whole development of being the best that you can be. And this group really has taken ownership of that over their 4 years, just like the previous senior class. We've got a great class. This is a great class coming through, but they just continue to set a positive example for the guys underneath them. So the tradition continues every single year. And the culture that we have here of not only winning, but the culture of buying into the process of being the best you can be is second to none.
Evan, you told me something interesting this summer when I was out to visit you guys in practice. Just said, I'm so happy and so proud to play not only for this school, but for this community. It's really helped me develop not only as a football player, but as a young man. Can you talk about just that personal growth that the school and the football program has really kind of helped shape you here in the past 4 years?
I mean, the football teams aren't the only people that buy in. The whole community does. And having that extra support behind you, it just makes us all want to go harder and just be our best, not only just about ourselves, but for our teammates and just the whole community. So going out every day at practice, we don't do it for ourselves, we do it for each other. And then on Friday nights, we just want to put on a show and do it for the whole community.
Harrison, you only have a few more weeks of the regular season. As I mentioned, I know you guys have a loftier goals, obviously, beyond that. But what's it been like just to be a senior and take the field here, knowing that these are pretty much your last few games here in the Cowboys uniform?
It makes everything more special, I think, making sure that you don't take any practices for granted or any games for granted, and then, enjoying every moment, with my teammates and coaches, and knowing that, we got to go, stay on this ride as long as we can and keep it going as long as we can, because, this is it for us. This is it for our seniors, and, we just really enjoy it and want to keep it going.
Elijah, you had 132 yards rushing and a touchdown last week, that big 42-10 win over Deer Park. What's been working so well for you personally?
The whole team put in a lot of work this offseason, and I think the line came back really good this year. We got a lot of young guys on the O-line, and they've been helping me just by creating holes to run through. And yeah, it's been great.
Coach, I think a lot of people see the scores, they see the success, the winning streaks, as I've just mentioned. You're reigning Division IV state champions. And you think, maybe this really comes easy to the Cowboys, and it just, you kind of take it for granted. I mean, how do you keep your players fresh? How do you keep them focused, especially this time of year, as I just mentioned, where it can be a grind week 8, it's a long season. You probably have, you're hoping for another 7 weeks to go, just like last year. But what's kind of the mentality you bring as a coach here, knowing your players as well as you do, and especially these seniors? How do you kind of keep them fresh day to day in practice?
We're trying to just focus on being the best that we can be. And it sounds cliche, but that's as simple as it gets. And just overemphasizing the importance of practice, I think, goes a long way. So we pick up the tempo in practice. We get these guys focused in on what is their practice goal for that day. And we go out there, we execute it. We have great leadership from our senior class, and it kind of trickles down all the way through. We got a great scout team that gives us a great look. And everyone's bought in, going in the same direction. I think that's very important if you want to be successful as a football team, to have everyone on the same page. From freshmen, we have our freshmen that practice with us. So freshmen through seniors are practicing with us. So everybody holds value on this football team, whether you're a scout team player, whether you're a varsity starter. Everyone holds value, and everyone is bought into helping this football program and this football team be the best they can be. And, we're very proud of that our kids are focused in and enjoy going out there and being a part of this program. And it's something special.
I'm sorry, Coach. Would you mind talking about each one of these guys individually and just their significant contributions, not only to this season, but throughout their career here for the Wyoming football team?
Well, I'll start with Camden. Camden O'Gara has been a freshman starter, just freshman Mike linebacker starter for us, and leading tackler in Wyoming history. Become the leading tackler in Wyoming history. Broke the record. 2 or 3 weeks ago? Over 400 tackles. Also plays our tight end position on the offensive side of the ball. And we ask a lot of Camden on the offensive side of the ball and defensive side of the ball. But one of the smartest football players I've ever coached, does a tremendous job of leading our defense. I mean, our defense, when he's been the leader of our defense, has been just incredible. I mean, I don't think that you can look at any 4 years in the Wyoming's 101st or 101 years of Wyoming football. I don't think that you can find 4 years of defensive football played like this. And just the level of intensity that he brings on a daily basis is tremendous. So tremendous leader for us, Camden O'Gara. Evan Prater, everyone's seen the accolades that Evan's been getting, and well-deserved. But one thing that doesn't come across in all the interviews and everything is his ability to step out on the practice field and work hard to be the best he can be and push his teammates to be the best that they can be. He has a sense of energy that's contagious out there on the practice field, and that trickles down to everyone. And, that tremendous leader for us as well. Harrison Shepard. Harrison's going into a 3-year starter on both sides of the ball, inside defensive tackle, defensive end. He's played offensive tackle. He's played some guard throughout his career. And, he's been a tremendous asset for us, has grown from his sophomore year to his senior year, grown into dramatic fashion, not only as a football player, but as a leader, and has really helped our program be the best they can be. All 4 of these guys hold multiple college offers and everything, and they're all tremendous students, and that goes a long way. When you have the GPA and the test scores that these guys have, and then their football playing ability, I mean, it opens up tremendous opportunities for them. Elijah McGee's a 2-way starter for us. He'll be a 2-year, 2-way starter for us, linebacker, running back. He's having a tremendous season, had a tremendous offseason, really bought into just a process of becoming the best he can be, and really has taken off and had a tremendous senior year. And I look for bigger and brighter things from Elijah in these last 3 games and as we roll into the playoffs. I mean, all 4 of these guys are major impact in our program, not only on the football field, but in the leadership roles that they play. And I couldn't be happier to be their coach.
Very well said, obviously, Coach. I guess just a couple final thoughts here, guys. Camden, I just start with you, but how important is it for you and your teammates to leave this significant legacy? And obviously the chapter hasn't been concluded here for this season just yet, but when Coach talks about, freshmen through seniors having a contribution in practice each and every day, I mean, how important is it for you to kind of leave that to those younger guys here when next season rolls around?
It's really important for all of us. I mean, I've got a little brother who's a sophomore, and he runs the scout team quarterback, so I love going against them every day. But it's just that sense of community, and we're doing everything for the younger guys and the rest of the community so we can leave the program in a better place than we found it.
Evan, how much fun have you had this season?
I've had a great time. I love it. Spending this last season with these seniors, it's been something special. We've played since we were younger, youth football, middle school football. Now we're here in high school, and we just want to go out with a bang. We want to finish this off strong, and I couldn't ask for a better group of guys to do it with.
Harrison, talk about that legacy aspect, just kind of touching back on what Camden mentioned here a second ago. How important is it for you just to leave that?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's really important. Like looking at even going back and looking at the history and the legacy that the Wyoming players in the past have left for us, and how strong that we came into the program and how strong that we felt about it. It just really shows me, and I assume my teammates, that we want to continue to leave that legacy for the people that come after us, so they can, step into that role and be great and like take every day, by the neck, and just have a great legacy to leave at Wyoming.
Elijah, Coach mentioned just the process. Don't look ahead too far. Just week to week, do the best you can. How difficult can that be sometimes just to keep your focus? Because obviously anybody can get caught up in the media hype and the winning streaks and all that stuff. But how do you kind of keep just everything compact within a week?
Well, Coach says every week to keep every week 1-0. Every team that we beat, we're 1-0, and the new week starts. And everybody on the team buys into that. We don't ever look ahead to what's coming up. We always just go 1-0 every week, and everybody on the team just buys into that.
Guys, thanks very much for joining me. Obviously, Camden O'Gara, Evan Prater, Harrison Shepard, Elijah McGee, and Wyoming coach Aaron Hancock. Best of luck to the Cowboys.
Thanks, Mike. Go Wyoming.
Thank you, guys. That was talking Wyoming football, the reigning Division IV state champions. Want to move to Division V now. Summit Country Day coach Justin Isaacs. Coach, again, thanks for your patience, and thank you for being on with me today and offering your perspective. How's your week going so far?
It's going pretty good. Had a pretty good win last week, and coming off of that, being 7-0 since 2012 is amazing.
Talk about what's working well so far for the Silver Knights here through 7 weeks, entering week 8.
Yeah, so relying on our seniors is going very, very well. BT Tobble, a great senior, receiver, DB, linebacker. He's playing all over the place. Also, Jimmy Stein's playing at quarterback position the last 3 years as a starter is huge. Our offensive line putting in work and then anchoring down with our defense with Jack McDowell and Amir Johnson just leading our guys out. So great senior leadership is getting us through 7 weeks.
How important has it been for those seniors to have that experience 2 years ago and playing as sophomores in a significant way? You had to have known that the potential was obviously very significant down the road for these guys.
Yeah, these guys played early, and they had good examples. The guy in front, Xavier Johnson, Ohio State, playing special teams. Michael Wharton, again, he's at Vanderbilt as well, and he's playing off the line at guard at number 2. So these guys set the foundation for them, and they just took it and ran with it. So seeing those guys as sophomores playing now is not unexpected, but them being in the weight room, be committed to the offseason workout plan is kind of where we're at now.
You mentioned BT, and a couple weeks ago, a big overtime win over Dayton Christian, and I was able to write about his situation and how you dedicated that game and that week of practice to his mother, who was in a serious car accident, and thankfully she was able to be there at the game. And just tell us a little bit about that and how that went. Just the emotional connection that this team has to one of its players in a situation that obviously was very unfortunate in the moment.
Yeah, BT Topple's been with the Summit program for a long time now. His mom's been involved with helping out with the football program and being a real backbone of the program. She had a serious bad car accident, and again, I found it from our athletic director, Greg Dennis, called me and let me know what was going on. So we wanted to kind of promote the week as everything's for Miss Tobble. For that family, because we recommend that, again, our Summit program is based on family. So we wanted to make sure everybody knew that once we won, by 1, we wanted to give the game ball to her. Guys ran over. She was very emotional. BT was very emotional, but, God got her through it, and she got us through the game.
Can you talk about that a little bit more in terms of your seniors and the character that they show? I mean, I know Matthew Warden, your senior, he's got 13.5 sacks, by the way, but a 36 on his ACT, for an example. I mean, you just have student athletes who really exemplify the highest character in each aspect of not only athletics, but in academics as well.
Yeah, academics at Summit's very important. All our guys are high academics. First thing, school is first. Number 1, football is kind of second there. If you can't succeed in the classroom, you can't see on the football field. Our guys, we run a lot of different schemes on offense and defense. So again, they have to be very, very smart to kind of run our schemes. And these guys do a great job of doing that. Matthew Wharton, again, 36, perfect score. The guys worked for it. It just didn't happen overnight. He's worked for it. He's very competitive, and he wanted to achieve that goal of being, perfect in school and on the football field. 13 sacks. The guy's a warrior. He gets after it every day. He's been leading by example since his freshman year. And again, his brother was amazing as well. and he's just taking on that trophy and running with it.
Can you talk a little bit more specifically about your guys' offense? Senior quarterback Jimmy Steins, I know, had a big week last week against Norwood. Just take me through some of the other guys who have really made an impact for you offensively and defensively.
Yeah, offensive-wise, Jimmy Stein's 3-year starter. Been throwing the ball for a long time for us. He's had a breakout season this year, which is not unexpected. BT Double playing receiver. He's had several 100-yard catches, 100-yard games. Also, we have the other receiver at Gates Flynn. You might have heard of him. Plays basketball. Really good basketball player. Does a great job wearing that one and leading kind of by example. He's that guy that is a deep and a short threat possession receiver. Does a great job. Ellis Ramsey playing running back. Does amazing breakout season for him as well. I think he's one or two best running backs in our league right now. We also have offensive line-wise Huey Headley that's playing the right guard that's doing tremendous for us. Zach Davis also playing center. He's anchoring down, probably having the best season. He's a second or third year starter for us, doing a great job. And then Jack McDowell plays both ways, linebacker and fullback. He anchors down everything for us. Big plays out of him. He looks for that contact. He's kind of that leader you want that you want on both sides of the ball. He does an amazing job that way as well. Amir Johnson has several walk-on offers and offers to play D1 and D2 football. He's doing a great job. Zach Wofford playing free safety. Derek Kinross. Again, our guys are anchored down. Our team's anchored down by our seniors, and they lead by example.
And you have a pretty good kicker as well. Tell me about him.
Yeah, Graham Nicholson, great kicker. He's a Power 5 kicker and punter. I think he's top 10 in the country right now. He was one of the basketball players for me in 8th grade. Got him out kicking. From there, that kind of opened the door for him. But again, he works hard, has several state championships in soccer. Then he comes over and kicks for us for football. But I think football is kind of his goal. He had probably 5 or 6 touchbacks on Friday. Dude has a leg on him, and he's amazing. He'll be a big D1 kid coming out of Summit.
What was that, a 49-yarder that he hit in practice Friday, was it?
It was 55.
55, I'm sorry. Hey.
Yeah, 55, yeah. Don't hold him back. Yeah, 55 in practice. It just, the ball explodes off his foot. He works hard at it. You know, he's going to a whole bunch of summer camps. He actually trained with the kid from LaSalle as well, so they know each other very, very well. And again, Graham's doing everything he can to go to the next level. We might see him kicking on Sundays one day. That's how good he is.
That's great. What's your message to the team? As I kind of alluded to with the other coaches at Lakota West and Wyoming, it's week 8. I mean, you guys are in a great position, being undefeated, obviously. Do you look at those computer point standings or those projections? I mean, how do you kind of keep everybody's focus and keep everybody fresh in practice now that the weather has changed and, you know, we're getting kind of late into the season here?
Yeah, I don't look at the projections. Everybody else does. They tell me about it every single day. We take things one day at a time, 1 week at a time. We have to beat Purcell to even be able to go to the playoffs. So, again, we got to win out and beat as many people as possible. I tell our guys to believe in us, believe in each other, be that family, and that's how we keep everything going. If we don't believe in each other, then we can't be successful. We're a small school. So, again, that small school mentality of keeping everybody tight-knit and close together because, again, we get a lot of distractions with guys playing different sports. But, again, the football team is always about family. Keeping stuff fresh is I have coaches, young coaches on my staff that played for me when they were younger. I have Ben Davis, which, again, he was a running back. Back then, he's an offensive line coach. Also, Armand Walker, he played there as well the 2012 season when they went undefeated. And Michael Barr played at IU at the 2012 season as well. So 3 guys that know how it feels to go 11-0. At the Summit Country Day, they're the legacy, and we're building up from there. So they keep stuff fresh. They're young guys that can bring that great mentality to our kids.
Yeah, I know you have to keep that focus, but what's it been like around the school community and just maybe around the faculty, the staff, the alum? What's been the reaction to all the success this season?
Yeah, everybody's excited. A lot of people come and say, "You guys are living with your seniors," and I tell them that you got that right. Our seniors will make it go, but everybody's very, very excited. A lot of high fives, a lot of younger guys coming up and knowing, who I am around the school, knowing who our kids are. They want to be around the program. I had to give a couple little guys mouthpieces because they want to play soccer with a mouthpiece in just because with football. So, again, shout out to good old Declan for getting that mouthpiece from us.
That's awesome. Good stuff. Summit Country Day football coach Justin Isaacs, appreciate you taking a few minutes, and best of luck to the Silver Knights going forward.
Oh, thank you. Go Knights.
Thanks, Justin. So there you had it. Lakota West coach Tom Bolden, Wyoming coach Aaron Hancock, and Summit Country Day coach Justin Isaacs, all giving their perspective on their respective teams for this season as we enter Week 8 of the Ohio high school football season. We're going to have all the highlights for you on the Friday Night Frenzy, obviously on Friday night on Channel 9. We're going to have a ton of interesting matchups this week. Be sure to check out our Facebook group. I kind of put a poll up there saying, hey, which game are you looking forward to the most? Because I don't want to rattle them off here because there are too many games, whether it be district rivalry games, Lakota West, Lakota East, Turpin, Anderson, or just other games that have a lot of ramifications in the computer point standings. So if you're not a member of the Facebook group, be sure to check that out. Follow me on Twitter at Mike Dyer. And I will actually be out at Brown Basovich Stadium Friday night to see CHCA and Roger Bacon, significant Miami Valley Conference matchup with a lot of points at stake in Division 4 for Roger Bacon, Division 5 for CHCA. So that's all we have for you this week. We're going to talk some hoops next week with Moeller basketball coach Carl Kramer, and we're also going to continue our football discussion. If you haven't seen the latest Steve Shuck projections, be sure to check those out on WCPO.com. We'll continue to update those throughout the weekend and throughout next week as we get ready here, crunch time of the high school football regular season as we inch toward the playoffs and the playoff pairings being announced on the weekend of November 1st and 2nd. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you next week.